For the life of me, I can't understand why you guys cannot stay on topic. I was talking about expanding background checks. I was talking about expanding background checks on every single possible gun sale that we can capture in the net of background checks. So I was talking about expanding background checks to include person-to-person sales, so that private sales were also submitted to a background check. And you took it somewhere else because you don't want to have that conversation, and because you didn't bother to educate yourself as to what my position is. You just assumed what it was. So let's read your comment. Then why do y'all take it out on guns? I don't know nothing about them. You think AR is so deadly. Obviously have never seen most common hunting round 300 win, but news don't blow, whatever. Okay, it becomes one of those word salads that becomes hard to just follow. When I say that you didn't bother to take the time to educate yourself on my position, this is what I mean. I'm not in favor of an assault weapons ban. I never have been. I have been one of those people on the left that has said, if we could get proper gun legislation in place, if we could get proper measures in place, then we don't need to ban guns like the AR-15 or other assault weapons, as the left likes to call them. So you hear expand background checks and you go to AR ban. No, you don't get to do that. If you want to have a conversation about assault weapons, we can. My position is we shouldn't be banning them. I disagree with Governor Pritzker in my state of Illinois when he signed the assault weapons ban. I disagree with the notion of a nationwide assault weapons ban. I think if we can restrict people who shouldn't have these guns from having access to them, and we can get annual mental health evaluations and continued training on your gun, then we don't have to have things like AR bans, assault weapon bans, or things of that nature. So that's the first thing you didn't do. You didn't bother to figure out or learn what my position was. But then the second thing you did was you took the subject to where it doesn't need to be, right? We're talking about background checks. We're not talking about assault weapons bans. We're not talking about banning guns. I don't want to ban guns. There are guns in my house. I believe it is my constitutional right to be able to protect myself and my family in the middle of the night if somebody's coming through the front door. Just like I believe it is your constitutional right, so long as you're not a danger to yourself or others. And even to yourself, I question. If the only person that you are in danger to is yourself, then in my world, that's between you and yourself. When you become a danger to other people, no, you shouldn't have guns. When you become mentally unstable, no, you shouldn't have guns. You have a history of violent crimes, you shouldn't have guns. You have a history of things like, armed robbery, then you shouldn't have. Domestic violence, then you shouldn't have guns. But once again, that has nothing to do with the subject at hand, which is background checks. Should we take the federal background check system and use it to include private sales? If somebody is sitting at a gun show in Idaho or Montana or North Dakota or wherever the fuck you happen to be, any one of the 33 states that allows private sellers to sell at gun shows without running background checks, because the federal background check system does not cover private sales, should we expand the law to cover those sales too? And if the answer is no, why? That's the subject, not assault weapons bans.